and the Quran, we see the emphasis upon the Middle Eastern area of the world. It is used as an example for all nations because the Middle East is a melting pot. It is an area where all of the extreme cultures combine. It is an area where you can find people of every complexion, of every shape, of every culture. There's a crossroads point. And so the bulk of the prophets that we have mentioned in the scriptures have come somewhere in that region as a sign to all mankind. But we believe, and it is found in the scriptures, that the prophets came to other nations. And if you look into the folk culture of all people, you will find at one point a person came speaking about the Great Spirit. A person came speaking about the Creator. In Mandarin, I was told that the word Shang-Chi, it refers to the Creator. You find in ancient Egyptology, you find that there was a pharaoh, and it's called Akhenaten. Akhenaten taught the people not to bow down to idols, not to make many gods, Osiris, Horus, Isis, but that they should worship the power behind the sun, not Ra, not the sun itself, but the power behind the sun, the power which energizes the universe. This type of teaching, this unity of your concept of the deity, this is the essence of the message of Islam. And so Islam is something that did not start with Muhammad ibn Abdullah, peace and blessings be upon him. It started when the first men walked the face of the earth. And it continued, and it manifested itself at different points in history, in all nations and all tribes. So when we talk about deen, when we talk about the way of life, in order to submit to the natural order, we are talking about a way of life that was consistent to all the prophets, that was taught by all of the representatives of the Creator. However you would like to call his name. If you like to call him Yahweh, if you like to call him Jehovah, if you like to call him Allah, the basic essence of the message was that we should strive to submit our will to the Creator, be part of the natural order. Don't break away from the natural order. If you look at the ants, look at the bees, look at the plants, they submit to the natural order. You don't have to go into an ant colony and tell the worker ants, look, you ants should organize a union so you can get your rights with the queen. You don't have to tell them that. The queen, all of her piety and all of her importance, she plays her role in the colony. She oppresses the other ants. She has her position with her drones. And the workers function in harmony. You don't need to have an overthrow by the proletariat of the bourgeoisie classes in the ant colony. The ants follow natural order. You don't have to send them a book. You don't have to send them a messenger. But mankind is different. We can submit to the natural order, or we can go against it. We can do things, and some people are doing things today that I'm sure even the animals are ashamed to look at. Maybe some of the animals will ask themselves, what type of creation is this? What are these things? Don't they know that we're supposed to function in the natural order? Don't they know there is a female cow, there is a male cow? I mean, let the male cow stay with the female. Why are they chasing the other male? I'm sure they are shocked when they see the things that people are doing today. So this submission to the natural order, this is what we mean when we say Islam. We're not talking about something which is restricted to a certain race of people. We're not talking about something that is restricted to a certain color of people or a certain class of people. But we're talking about something which is natural to all people. And that is that we naturally recognize that there is a force. There is an intelligent force which is greater than us. However you want to call it. Some people even call it nature. Some people might even say it's dialectical materialism. Whatever they might say, they know that there is something of them. Something which is intelligent, something which is moving society. One of the announcers, or one of the newsmen, when Hurricane Gilbert was raging through the Caribbean, he made a very significant comment. He said, these hurricanes serve as a check to mankind. Because when the hurricane comes, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. The most you can do, maybe now they can fly inside the eye of it, and they can measure it, and they board up their houses, but there's nothing you can do to stop it. So it checks you when you start to think that you're really powerful. When you start to think that you have control over all things. Then the hurricane comes. And it breaks apart everything that you have. And there's nothing you can do but pick up the pieces and try to build again. So all people intrinsically know that there are forces in this universe that are greater than them. This is the message that was taught consistently by all of the great ones, all of the prophets who came from the beginning of time. So amongst the prophets who came, one by the name of Ibrahim alayhi salam. In English we call him Abraham. He is a very significant prophet. And in his life we see the coming together of great civilization. Ibrahim alayhi salam came from Iraq. He came from the civilization of the Tigris and Euphrates. It is considered to be by many one of the oldest, if not the oldest, societies in the history of man. He came from the Tigris and Euphrates region, refusing to submit to the idols. He traveled across Damascus and down to Palestine and Egypt. And he also took as his wife, his maid, was given to him as a maid, that we call Hagar, or in English we say Hagar. She bore Ishmael. She was coming from Egypt, the other great civilization that some people consider to be the first major civilization. And so in Ibrahim alayhi salam is a coming together of the nations. Also Ibrahim, the Quran says, Ibrahim was an ummah. He was a nation unto himself. That he was so strong that although everybody around him was going against the will of God, he wanted to submit to God. And it's very important for us today, and especially we have our friends here today from different faiths, to understand the complete history of Ibrahim alayhi salam. We are aware of the ministry or the part of his life that came through his wife Sarah. And from Sarah came Ishaq, or Isaac. And from Isaac came Jacob, who was known as Israel, or Israel. From him sprung prophets. Prophets who are well known to the people in Western society. There sprung from him Joseph and Moses and David and Solomon. His line came Zachariah, and came Yahya, came John, and also came Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him. All of these great ones coming through that side of his family related to Isaac. But the other side of his family, that story is not so well known to people.